and CTV political analyst Eric Ham, focusing on the U.S. situation right now. Eric, good to see you. Your thoughts on this meeting going on between these two men?
You're right. It's a very complicated relationship between the two. But what we also know taking place right now is Turkey is also involved in NATO drills that also involve the United States, which are taking place over the next 4 days. They end on September 26th. And so clearly what we're seeing here is NATO is still seen as an integral and instrumental part of NATO and also helping to bring an end to the war between Russia and Ukraine. But also we know that President Erdogan certainly wants to be able to get back into that program to be able to purchase American fighter jets, namely the F-16 and F-35. And certainly, so there's certainly going to be a lot of issues that will be discussed in this meeting today. And as the president said in this meeting, that he could see almost immediate lifting of sanctions if, in fact, it is a good and productive meeting.
I gather we should not expect, though, Eric, any kind of criticism by President Trump of the Turkish leader and what we have seen in Turkey right now, a huge crackdown on democracy and free speech.
Yeah, that's right. We know that Donald Trump respects leaders like Erdogan. He considers him strong. In fact, he praised him for being a very strong leader and said during the meeting today where they spoke to the press, he says that he had a lot of respect for President Erdogan. And so I suspect that this will be a productive meeting. I think the question going forward is how, in fact, will Erdogan respond as it relates to Russia. But we also know that where there is a huge difference is Turkey and Israel certainly are at tremendous odds right now. And as we know, President Donald Trump and the United States has been seen as a massive benefactor of Israel. And so I think those are going to be issues that will be discussed as well. We know that there has been an embargo of goods from Turkey to Israel, which the president certainly is going to have, I think, a lot to say about that during this meeting.
Hey, let's switch gears if we can before you go. The former director of the FBI, James Comey, is expected to be indicted, charged on criminal charges in the coming days in a federal court. We know that Comey has been a target of Donald Trump for years. He fired Comey as FBI director early in his first term and blamed Comey for so-called going after him, being part of a witch hunt. What about these criminal charges that are likely looming for Comey? What does it mean?
Well, there's only 5 days until the statute of limitations runs out on these potential perjury charges against the former FBI director. Already we know that there is an enormous amount of pressure being brought on the DOJ, particularly that district, to bring these charges against Comey. However, sources are telling us that prosecutors in that case have already notified the U.S. attorney that they do not believe that there is enough to sustain the case, perhaps even bring charges before a grand jury. And so already we see that there's already been one firing in this district, and Donald Trump specifically has named Comey as someone he believes charges need to be brought against.
Eric, appreciate you helping us make sense of this one. Thank you.
Thank you.
U.S. political analyst Eric Ham there.